So hello guys, welcome to the SQL playlist. In this playlist, and this is going to be the first video. So in this playlist, I will be adding a lot of questions that has been asked many times in the interview questions by the various companies, right? So this would be the first question that I would be pick up, because second as salary is the question that has been asked by lot of companies. As you can see, it has been asked by Deloitte, Amazon, Accenture, Infosys, and many other companies. Okay, like Airtel has asked this, and this data I have got from the Google only. Okay, so second as salary is used to test your knowledge about the subquery, about the CTE, about the limit and offset, how you use it, right, and how you optimize your solution basically. So okay, we will now first of all see what is a question second as salary, and why it is the most asked question, and what are the optimal ways or all the ways to solve this question. Because in interview you have been asked with some constraint, like they will ask you, hey, find a second as salary, but don't use limit, but don't use subquery, like that. In this type or in this situation, then you should know what are the other ways to solve the same question. Okay, now we will see what is the question first. So second as salary is the question that says we have to write a solution to find second highest distinct salary. This is very important, distinct salary, because a lot of people got confused here. So distinct salary from the employee table, if there is no second highest salary, return null. This is also very something important. And in case of the panda, there is a none. In SQL we will be looking at SQL only, so null is important for us. So what is saying, this is the employee table given to us, where there are two columns, ID and salary, and we just have to return the second highest salary. For example, there are the employee with ID 1 has a salary 100, employee 2 with a salary 200, employee 3 with a salary 300. We have to return the second as salary, that is a 200 as output. Makes sense? If there is another table, for example case 2, where there is no second as salary, there can be employee 1 with a salary 100, employee 2 with a salary 100. So as you can see, we are asked for distinct salary. It means there is no distinct salary here, second distinct salary. So in this case, the output should be the null. This is what we have been asked to solve this problem, correct? So let's see the example. So first example is that we have given the same case, and of course second as salary is 200, and we have to return it as second as salary. So there is a as alias that we use to rename any column in a response in a answer basically. So that we have to use as a second as salary. This will be the static string basically. For this column there is no second as salary, so of course the answer is a null, and same column name will be the second as salary. So how to solve this problem? First of all, before jumping into the solutions, there are three ways to solve this problem. Okay, first is a subquery. So first of all, I hope you know the subquery. If you don't know, let me recap you. The subquery is the query inside a query. Okay, it is used when you want the result of one query. Why? What does it mean? For example, it is kind of the nested query. For example, this is my query 1, correct, and this is my query 2. So this is called as a subquery, correct, because this query can be dependent on this query or vice versa. There are different types of the subquery. That is not a goal of this video. I will just tell you the solution for the second as salary. So imagine you want to find a second as salary, given that the salaries in the table are 100, okay, second, and 200, correct. If I ask you, can you write a query, first step will be find highest salary, which is very simple, right? To find a high salary, you can directly use the max function, aggregate function, correct. Max of salary will give you the maximum salary. And second, if I ask you now find a salary highest, I am saying find highest salary, but it should be less than this maximum salary, correct. For what I am saying is, if you have salary like 100, 200, 300, correct. First thing, what is the maximum salary here? 300. Second is to find highest salary, but it should be written less than 300. What is the highest salary? This is the highest. Is it less than 300? No. Then I will go to the second highest. That is this. Is this less than? Yeah. So ultimately I will find a second highest salary. And this is what the subquery is doing. So as I said, okay, subquery means query inside a query, where this inner query is basically the main point is that using this query we will try to find highest salary among the employee table, that will be 300, correct? And then what I will do, this outer query will try to find maximum salary as a second as salary. As said, this will be the static string using the as alias from employee table, but that's where that salary should be less than 300. That is our goal, correct? So this will first try to find 300 as a maximum, but it will check 300 is less than 300. No, just go to the next maximum salary, that will be 200. So is 200 less than 300? Yeah, then it will return a 200 as a second as salary. So this is how you can solve this problem using the subquery, and this should be your the first solution while giving it into the interview. I hope you got it, correct? And this is what I have noted here. Before solving this problem, you should know these three things, that is what is subquery, what is limit and offset, and what is CTE and Windows function, correct? So I am assuming you know that. Still I will try to give the definition of those points in a one line only, as I said for the subquery. So this will be the one solution. Second is using limit and offset. So what is a limit and offset in a SQL? So limit and offset is used to restrict the number of rows in response. Like what number of rows should I return in my response and what number of rows should I skip in my response. So limit is just basically used to tell total rows to be written. Correct. And offset tell you number of rows to be skipped. So this is very important for you. So this is how you can solve this problem. So if I have said in SQL, if I'm just doing like this, I have to just say limit 5 offset 1. What does it means? In output I will get only 5 rows, that is fixed for sure, and from that output of 5 rows will be after skipping the one row. What do I mean? For example, I have salary like 100, 200, 300, 400, and for example I have the 500. I said I want limit to offset 1. What does it means? And I want the maximum order by, for example, order by salary in descending order. It means that I will get 500 first, this is my one row. I will get 400 first, this is my second row. But as I said, limit 2. I'm done with the 2 rows now. But since offset is 1, it means I have to skip this one. I have to take the next highest, that is a 300, correct? So here it will come 300. So output for this case would be 400 and 300, because offset is telling how many rows should I skip. So offset is 1, it means I have to skip first row. If offset is 2, I have to skip first 2 rows. It means ultimately for sure I have to return 2 rows. If I have skipped 2 rows, I will take the next 2 rows, that is 300 and 200. So this is how the limit and offset works in SQL, correct? So using limit, how we can solve this? First of all, we have been asked for the distinct salary, correct? By the way, in the subquery we didn't use distinct word. Why? Because we are ultimately finding the maximum salary. We are using the max function. So we don't care about the duplicates here, correct? Because max will take care of the duplicates as well, because maximum of 100, 100 is always 100 only. So yeah. So and here is a less than. So ultimately 100, 100, if there is 100, 100, then 100 is not less than 100, right? Because both are same. So there should be 99, 98, something like that. Then only it will become a true. That's why we don't care about the distinct in a subquery. But here we care. Why? Because limit and offset doesn't know about the duplicates. It will consider the duplicates as well in response. So if I have 500, it will return the 500 as well if there are 2 employees with the same salary. That's why I have to use here the distinct salary. So what I'm doing, I'm saying that select a distinct salary from employee, order by salary decreasing. It means give me in decreasing order. That's we discuss here. That is 500, 400, 300, 200. Limit 1. It means in my output there will be only one row for sure, and I have to offset 1. Offset 1 means skip first row. It means that in my output, okay, in my output I will get only one row for sure. That, for example, my limit 1 is telling me okay, take the 500 as output, but what is the offset? Offset is a 1. So I will say skip this row and take the next row, that is 400. So ultimately I will get as a second highest salary using the limit and offset, and that's what I am returning as a second highest salary. If there is no row, if for example it is returning 0 rows, so ultimately SQL will treat it as a null and you will get a second highest salary as a null. Got it? So this is how you can solve this problem using the limit and offset. Second is using the CTE. So you should know what is a CTE. Let me give you the short idea. CTE is called as the common table expression, which is a temporary result that is used while executing the queries to save the result temporary, and that you can use for the complex queries. For example, if you have something complex result, so what you can do, you can just write the syntax of CTE is like this, with CTE as this can be any name, you can give any name, and here will be some query in this open brackets win query, and then you can just write here any select statement that will select ultimately the rows from this inner query, whatever the CTE is getting from the database. So this is a CTE, correct? So yeah, CTE means temporary result set that we can reuse for running the queries. So CTE says that first of all, you should know what is a dense rank. Dense rank is a Windows function that gives the ranking but with no gaps for duplicate. What does that mean? If there are employees with like this, correct? So it will give the rank 1 for 400, it will be 2. It will not skip it. This is a rank, dense rank. And in rank, what happens? If there is employee 500, 400, it will give 1 and directly 3, because there were 2 rows having the same. So you should know this difference as well, and this has been asked in a lot of interviews questions. What is the difference between rank and dense rank? So dense rank doesn't skip any row, correct? So basically dense rank doesn't skip the rows if there is a tie, right? 500 where there was a tie but it didn't skip, that's why it is coming up here 2. But in rank it will give you the 3. We don't need it, we need only rank, because I want to find second highest salary. So in rank case I will never get a second highest if there is a tie between the first, that is maximum rank only. So rank is not useful here, dense rank is useful. So what I'm doing, I'm using the CTE, I'm just selecting everything, and dense rank over, this is the Windows function syntax, order by salary in decreasing as a rank from employee. What is this step is doing? For example, I have employee table where I have the salary. For example, this is my employee table where I have the salary 200, 600, 700. So what it will do, it will create a temporary result employee, okay, with here will be the salary, here will be the rank, and I will get something like this: 700 rank 1, 600 rank 2, 200 rank 3. So this is the goal of this CTE. Then what I'm doing, I'm using the select statement. As I said, right, after the with, which is storing the result, we can reuse it for executing your purpose. So I'm using the coalesce here. What I'm doing, I'm selecting the salary from CTE, though this is referring to the CTE now. Whatever the result has been generated by common table expression, this is referring to this. What I'm doing, I'm selecting the salary from CTE where CTE.rank, this table name is a CTE, correct? Table name is a CTE now, because whatever the name we are mentioning here is the table name of that temporary result. CTE.rank means this column is equal to 2. So this is the rank 2, correct? And limit 1, we want only 1, because there can be the case, for example, if this employee would have the salary 600, then this would have been the 600 and rank would be the 2. So there are 2 rows with a rank 2. So I don't want, I am just concerned about this number 600. So I just want only 1. I am limiting as 1 only, because I want to return a 1 row. Common null. Now you should know what is a coalesce. So coalesce is used to return the first non-null values from the list of from the array of values. What I'm saying is, if I write something like this, coalesce of 10, 15, 20, null, correct? So this is what we used to do. So it will return a first non-null value, that is a 10. It will return this one. Else, if there is no non-null value, by default it will return whatever the default value we have given at last. So by default it will return a null. So same thing I'm doing here. What I'm doing, I'm just returning the row with second highest salary, that is a rank 2 from the CTE, But if there is no rank as a 2, for example, if my employee table would have been like this only, that is, there is only the 700, so there would not have been any row with rank 2, correct? So this would have been written as a empty row, there is no row. So in this case, this would have been the null, correct? So if there is no result for this case, for this whole line, this no result, so by default I will return as a null, and which will come up as a second highest salary, correct? So we are handling the null case, because in the problem statement only given that if there is no second highest salary, we have to return a null. So that is what we are following here. That's why we have used the queries here. So I hope you got this problem, how we used to solve this problem using the subquery, using the limit, using the CTE. There can be a lot of ways. You can use the not equal operator as well to find the second highest salary. You can compare the second highest salary with a maximum salary, that is the first highest, or not a first, I would say highest only, highest salary. So a lot of ways, but these are these 3 standard solutions that I have found so far to solve this problem optimally. And you can propose any of the solution during the interview. If in interview they are telling you, hey, don't use limit, then try to put this solution using the subquery. Hey, if they told you don't use subquery solution, don't use limit solution, then try to put the CTE solution. But there will not be the case, they will say, hey, don't use anything and solve it. So of course, either of the solution you can propose during the interview, and you can explain then how this query is being executed, what is the order of execution of this query. So I hope you got this problem, and in the next video I will try to come up with the question that has been asked by a lot of companies again, but this was the one top asked question by a lot of companies. So yeah, see you in the next video. Till then, bye bye. Thank you.